Alright guys, welcome to another Autronics video. In this video we are working on this Powerbeats 3 headphone that's been sent in to us by a customer, and what they want to do is replace the battery in here. So these are wireless and I think they're Bluetooth capability as well. So the customer wants it said that the battery doesn't hold charge for a long duration, so he wants that replaced over. So before I do that, I want to check if this actually works. So with anything, if you're in the repair industry, always check if your devices are working prior to receiving them. That rules out that if it was something that you did, or if it was actually working prior to even receiving it. So let's have a look. So I've got a flashing red LED light on here, which is good. So that should go to red, I believe. Okay, so cool. At least we know this side's working. And so this will be the third or fourth one that we'll be doing anyway, so we know how to get inside these. So the way to open this up is if you get something, a real fine screwdriver or a real fine blade kind of thing. So I'm just using this, which I bought from eBay for about like $2 or something like that. And if you grab the side, so the side that has the charging port has the circuitry in it, right? So the charging port side has a circuitry in it, but the opposite earbud, if you say, has the battery in it. So we've got, so that's the charging port in it, so that's the side that has the circuitry in it. We're not interested in that, we're interested in this side here. And this is the side that holds the battery inside of it. And I will put a link into the description below to where you can find these small batteries from, relatively cheap and easy to do. So you need something like this, and as you can see there's a little groove here, right? And so what you do is, if you just pry into this little groove here, and there it is glued down, so just ensure that that you don't apply too much pressure on it. So if you just do that, see how it's peeling away now. So I'll bring that up so you can see it. So you notice. Okay, so alright, so we got that open, and then we'll just ever so lightly get this piece under here, and then just push up, right? And then so you got, there we go. So we got it disconnected from there, and what's holding it is this piece of glue that's around here, and these little glue pieces around here as well. So once you seal it back on, you'll have to put something, some sort of glue in there. So I'm just going to use hot glue to put it back on. And then now we will disconnect our cabling. So before you go in, disconnect this bit here, make sure that you do take a photo of it and to see what it looks like. And what I'm going to do now is I want to check with my multimeter what sort of voltage is this holding. So it's a, I think it's a 3.7 volt battery that's in there. Let me just confirm that. Yep, so 3.7 volt, 98 milliamps is the battery that goes in there. So if you can read, if you can see that on the camera. Okay, and just take a photo of how the connection goes on here. So the last thing you want to do is take it off and forget what sort of what type of connection that goes on there, right? So let's do a bit of testing. Let me grab my multimeter and determine that it is actually the battery that is faulty. So let's grab my multimeter, let's grab this, put this here, hopefully you can see that. And so the left one here is negative and the right one here is positive. And so let's scrape off some of these things that are on here. Okay, so and then let's probe on the left and probe on the right, and we have a dead battery. Okay, so we've got a dead battery here, guys. So I am on DC mode, yes. So let's probe again. Okay, so that's not working at all, and let's bring in the charging cable and let's determine if it is actually the battery. So last thing you want to do is change the battery and you find out that your charging port is not working. So let's connect our cable on. We got a flashing light here, something going on, and let's see if we can get some voltages to show up here to determine that we do have our charging voltages present, in order to state that yep, it is the battery. Let's do that, and we get 2.8 and a fluctuation between 2.8 and 3 volts. That tells me that that tells me that the battery is charging but not holding charge. Okay, so bear with me while I try and hold this and disconnect this and see if our battery will hold charge. So let's do that, and not at all. So our battery goes down rapidly. That tells me that the battery is faulty. And now let's remove this multimeter and begin our repair by removing the battery. Okay, let's have a look. Let's bring our solder. Okay, so let's begin. So what I've gone ahead and done is place the metal piece under here, just because this is a LiPo battery and I don't want it exploding all over my little table here. Rather be safe than sorry. So let me find a bit of tape. I will use that tape to hold it down, and then we will move that out of the way. So let's do that, and then grab our soldering iron, and let me grab a pair of tweezers. Let's have a look at which one will be suitable for this job. This one, no, not that one. Okay, let's use this one. Okay, so let me turn, let's turn it like that. Grab our soldering iron and hold on to that wire there. Let's clean the tip for once. Okay, so we know the left here is P negative, middle is T, and the right one is P positive. So we will, when we identify our cables as well, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's apply a bit of heat onto this connector here, and as there's a coating on top of it that is basically what's holding it. It's a protective coating that you just need to get through, and just about a little bit of heat there, it can come off. So we know the red and orange, or the red and copper, is our P negative, and let's do the middle one now, and same thing here, bit of heat. Let's get through that barrier first, and then yep, so we're free of that one as well, and then our last one. So you notice, you see why I'm using a bit of tape to hold it down, just so when you're doing this it doesn't move all the way around. Okay, so here we go. 3 wires are out. Let's have a look at these wires, see the quality of the wires. Okay, that's good. Let's have a look at this one. Okay, that one's good, one's good. And this last one here, I'm just gonna trim off and do a bit of tinning on that one, just because I don't like the way it looks. It might not make a proper connection when we go to do it. Alright, let's grab my solder and a bit of flux. So I'm using Kingbo flux, which I have always used. If you guys have any recommendations to use other ones, I'm more than happy to try them. But over the years I've used Kingbo flux, and it's worked charms for me. And okay, let's bring this in. Let's tin it. Okay, I'm happy with that. And let's trim it off. Good. Alright, so let's remove this one and place that one there. Get our new one, place that one here, and just going to grab a bit of tape, tape this one down. so it's not moving all over the place once we're trying to solder it. Secure that one down, and then let's tin this first. So as it comes from the factory or wherever it's sent from, it's not properly tinned, and so just to remove the error, or if it doesn't work, then you know that if you tin it properly, then you know that it's not your soldering. But if you just rely on whatever's given, then it might fault out. So let's get a bit of tinning, soldering onto that. Okay, cool, that's done. And now let's bring our, so I start off with the T, so I start off with this one here, always. So I feel that works for me. You can do it in any order you like. It doesn't have to be in the direct order that I have it in. Okay, so we know that's on. Let's start off with the negative. Let's grab this. Let's go on here. Okay, and then just line it up. Okay, so let me straighten this out a bit. Okay, that's good there. Okay, good. Press down. Good, happy with that. And then the last one is the positive one, and hold it against this side. Hopefully you can see that. And there we have it. Okay, and then just to make sure that it's soldered properly, what I tend to do is just have a look. You notice how this one didn't solder on properly? Okay, that's probably because there's not enough flux on it and not enough solder on it. So let's tin that again. And okay, good. And let's try that one more time. It doesn't require much heat for it to go on, but you do need to hold it in position for a wee bit. Okay, and there we go. That's done, and that's soldered on nicely. And now let's bring our multimeter back into the scene and check that we get our adequate voltages. So let's zoom out, bring that there. Volts mode, we've got negative on this side. Yep, and positive on that side. There we go, 3.4 volts, yay! So we have successfully replaced that battery. And if the multimeter, hold this down once you, actually what I'm going to do is I want to clean that terminal. And so we'll grab a bit of isopropyl. Very easy, this can be done quite quickly anyway, so it doesn't require too much of a messing about. Let's give that a clean, it's good. Get rid of some of these. And I forgot to turn my my glue gun on, so I'm gonna just plug that, wait for it to warm up, and then we'll come back and we'll glue it back together. But basically that's how it's done. Reassembly, I'm just using a little glue gun like that to glue it back together. The glue stick is a little bit of a better quality glue stick, so just so I know that it secures on properly. And the last thing to check now is to check that it charges. So bring our multimeter back in, bring our charging cable back in, and these are our connector. Let's plug that. Let's have a look if we can if the battery is being charged and that it's holding charge. Let's do that and that. Okay, great. So it is slowly charging, which is good. And then we have a steady red light on here that tells me that it's charging. Okay, so let's remove this. These are quite nice actually. They actually hug your ear quite well, and the sound quality is quite good. So let's assemble this back together. So assembly process is rather straightforward. So if you remove this, zoom out. Okay, get rid of my old battery, chuck that there, with that, and this just sits like that. Okay, just in that gap in there, like that. Doesn't move anywhere from that. And what I tend to do now is I'll grab my tweezers again and I get rid of all of these glue that are around the edges here. You can do this before, you can do this after, it doesn't really matter. Just be careful when you're doing this so you don't poke away at the battery. Okay. That's good. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll stop you there. I'll pause the video there actually, and then I'll wait for the glue gun to heat up, and then by that, while I'm waiting for that, I'll clean all of this. So you don't want to see me clean that. That's it's pretty boring. But yeah, let me clean that, wait for the glue gun, and I'll rejoin you there. Okay, we are back. So glue gun's nice and warm, nice and hot. Start off by placing a bit of glue on this area here, just so we can secure that connection there first, and then a bit on here, just on the cover. Don't go too much inside, because I'm just doing that so it holds the battery within the casing. And then a couple of areas that you can put this is around here and here, and then also around here. I mean, I use glue gun or hot glue to do that, but you can use whatever else you do prefer. So I'm just trying to take out this last bit here that's stuck in this corner. Okay, good. Okay, so let's begin with this side here. Okay, like that. Just a wee bit there. Just a wee bit there. There. On this side. And down here. Okay, and that's all you need. And then you grab your cover. You start off just on that side there, push it in. Okay, you should feel a click. Okay, there we go. And seal it back in place. Okay, there we go. Alright, so now let's just press and hold for a wee bit, just so it dries out. And then we can tidy up the edges a bit later. Okay. Good. Okay, so I'll tidy up the edges a bit later. So that's it basically. So that's how you replace the battery on the Powerbeats 3 headphones. That is Bluetooth and wireless and everything else in between. I will put a bit of glue in this section here, just so I know it's secured. Alright guys, so that's it basically. I hope this video has helped somebody out there, and thank you for watching.